This is grassland that was treated a couple years before, prior to the previous grassland we just saw. And what a difference. I mean, there is just grass every place now that the creosote and the other bushes have been killed off. This is just unbelievable. What a difference it makes.
Welcome to the Sands Ranch. We're here today for the Mexican Ranchers Tour, and we'll be showing off some of the soil conservation treatments that we've been doing. And we're glad to have everyone here in attendance on this beautiful Arizona day.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Harris, and I am owner family manager of the Sands Ranch. And I think behind me you will see we're going to do the panorama of the Sands Ranch and surrounding areas and the snow-capped peaks. As we continue around, you'll see maybe the adobe barn, which has been there for 100 years, and it is adobe. It's our scales and shipping pens and a little more of the ranch. We're now jumping ahead 6 months to show you the differences between spike-treated and untreated pastures that occurred after the Mexican Ranch Tour and during the summer monsoon. I think that the photos of the spike-treated and untreated pastures speak for themselves. I must admit that when the Sands Ranch first began researching using spike treatment on our pastures, and this was about 5 years ago, I was very, very skeptical. Not only is it an expensive process, even with grant monies, but Sands would have to significantly reduce our cow herd because we would not be able to graze the treated pastures for 2 growing seasons. Well, we made the decision to proceed, and it turned out to be one of the best and most productive management decisions. As you can see, the untreated area on the right has abundant noxious plants such as whitethorn, creosote, and tarbush. These plants literally suck the available water and leave little water for native grasses. And the plants provide no forage for the cattle. The cattle won't eat it, and even if they did, there would be very little, if any, nutritional value. On the left, the spike-treated pasture, you can see abundant new grasses and remnants of the noxious plants that once thrived. This high grass will impede the runoffs from the heavy rains, prevent soil erosion, and provide nourishment for the cattle. Sands Ranch has not grazed cattle on this treated pasture for 1 growing season, and we've been blessed with abundant rain. Conditions were near perfect for the spike treatment to take effect, but just look at the untreated area and you can see how even perfect conditions on basically undesirable pastures may look better, but they're not nearly as lush and productive. Now, backing up 6 months to the Mexican Rancher Tour. Chosen to showcase some of the brush management work that we've done. So who lives in Austin, Texas, and has more Southwest Airlines miles than you can imagine, because she and I really co-manage the ranch, and between the diesel she spends in Southwest Airlines, she's giving a lot of boost to our economy. And then the on-site managers, whom we could not function without, Travis and Nicolette Nevins. Nicolette's there, and Travis over here in the black hat, but he's a good guy, and their 3 children, Ty, Heidi, and Jack. That Nicolette and Travis really do the on-site work, and Travis knows every inch of this ranch, and it's just invaluable. And I know he's worked with everybody, Barry Wallace and everybody from NRCS, and in making these things happen. He follows through, and could not do it without him. A little bit of the ranch history. First of all, I don't have a PowerPoint, but I have a couple of visuals. Our grandfather, Lewis Sands the Jr., came from Manistee, Michigan in 1902 to Arizona. And he started purchasing parts of what's now the Sands Ranch in 1917, and bought and sold and had partners. And today we have 100 sections of fee land, state lease, Forest Service, BLM, and Pima County. And so lots of personalities and in running this ranch. And the ranch is a cow-calf operation, and it has, we have, in perfect conditions, 800 mother cows, but the last several years we have done we've culled lots of our cows for herd health, and we're trying to improve the herd, and then also for some of our conservation efforts in letting some pastures heal, and especially during the growing season. So this is, oops, sorry to my grandfather. This is a photo we also had of the early days of horse trailers with the Sands Ranch, and which is basically the back of a Chevrolet pickup. And just as an aside, our grandfather also in 1935 started a Chevrolet agency in Glendale, Arizona, which is still the Sands Chevrolet and is run by and owned by family members today. I'd like to, let's see, yes, well, the ranch has been continuously family owned and operated, and Kathy and I have been the family managers for probably the last 15 years. We are very, very proud of our coordinated ranch management plan, and it's with all the different entities involved in this ranch, and it has been extremely helpful. And it really does take a village to make everything work. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank Art Mean. I don't know where, oh, there is Art. He's the official photographer, among other things. But Art has literally been the glue that has held this whole thing together, because not only are there so many different personalities and philosophies, and Art has kept the family ranch goals in mind, and that's really important to us, because rather than having people just dictate what we need to do to run our ranch, it's been a collective effort, and we usually come to consensus. And thank you very much, Art, because Art has kept things calm. Sometimes our meetings get somewhat heated, but we're all friendly, and I do have to say that we've been working together for so long that we've really become friends, and enjoy the time that we do spend together, and it's been extremely productive. Kim McReynolds is not here from the University of Arizona. She's been wonderful in producing our website, keeping it updated, and Steve Williams is here from the State Land Department, and poor Steve, it never fails that something will fall through the cracks, and I will call Steve and say, oh my gosh, we need an okay from the State Land Department before we can proceed to the next phase of our conservation program. And sure enough, Steve will connect me with the powers that be, and we'll get everything done. And they've just been invaluable there at the State Land Department, and John Patton works with him also. Jim Highhold, I guess we don't have James, and Tom Lorenz of the Forest Service have been great. They've been able to just, if we need drinkers or troughs or cattle guards, pipeline, whatever they can get their hands on, they've been wonderful about providing our ranch with some of the things that we need. Arizona Game and Fish, Andy Clark and Al Iden, they have been extremely helpful in finding grant monies for our spike work and brush management, and they've been wonderful to work with also. So we are looking forward to continuing with our conservation efforts and our brush management, and we hope that you will find our results as positive and as exciting as we have. I was telling Barry Wallace this morning that when we drove on Highway 90 yesterday, I looked over to where we'd had the brush management, and it's always been our horse pasture, but I have never been able to see the horses from the road. And for the first time, there they were, right there. And then there were grasses and just not all the noxious weeds. And it was like, wow, this really works. And I told Barry that I would also mention that when we first started with this brush management, we were all a little dubious about whether this would work or not. And it seemed like, we spray it and it kills the right things and lets the good things grow, and how does this all work? But it really does work, and we're very, very pleased. And as Barry said, he takes care of the chemicals and we take care of the weather. So it just happened that it did rain right afterwards, and of course we take complete credit for that. And we also take credit for the beautiful snow-capped mountains, which we just had snow on Monday. So, and what a nice day this is. In closing, I just wanted we have a couple visuals for the CRM plan and how it really does work. And we had on one of our grass monitoring sessions, we were out in the middle of nowhere doing our grass monitoring, and we had a vehicle malfunction where I hate to say it was a Sand Chevrolet, but it did stop working. And so this is all the planning, and you've got people from all the different agencies, and we're trying to figure out, now how do we get this vehicle back on the road, and then from the road back to the highway. And so we thought, we planned, then we took action, and this is our action, which is basically everybody working together pushing the truck. And you see Art Mean first and foremost out there. So thank you very, very much, and we're thrilled that you're here, and we're glad that we can showcase our ranch and what we've been doing for pushing 100 years, and more and more as we get into this brush management and all the other conservation and water development, we're exciting future too. So thank you very much.